just quickly about the history of Shiptang. Hwangki Kwanjang Nim, founder of the Mudokwan system of martial arts, had many names over the century, and created many, many forms. And a lot of those forms were based on his understanding of martial techniques and him reading the oldest martial art manual on empty hand combat in Korea called Kwanbuk. Okay, it's the Kwanbuk section of the Muye Double Tongji. And in that book, it talks of two different methods of training. Yungno, which means 6 roads, and Shipdangkum, which means 10 levels. And so we know the Yungno forms like Dumun, Jungjo, Powol. Those are the founder's interpretation of that text. Now the Shipdangkum forms are then his interpretation of the Shipdangkum method of training as outlined in the Muye Double Tongji. So today we're going to demonstrate Shipdangkum Illo. We'll be facing south and we'll be running east to west, similar to the Yungno forms. In the form, though, these are softer hyung. And you're going to find there's a lot of open techniques that's going to help kind of lubricate and keep the joints active. So these are very healthful type forms, and I hope all of you will enjoy them. So let's begin. So we'll step over here, and I'm not sure if me doing the form backwards would be helpful or not. I'm going to start by just doing the form the same way. So this is my left hand, and so that'll help orient you based on how your camera is set up, okay? So let's begin. If this orientation isn't working, we'll make an adjustment. So feet together, hands at your side. To begin the form, normal chumbi jase, and all of the Shipdangkum kyung have a similar chunbi. So the Shipdangkum chumbi is what we call a mountain posture. So weight's going to shift over to the right leg and the elbows touch. Then right leg steps into a kima jase. Inhale, arms lift. And as your arms lift, you're going to do like a son mok dong strike. So you want to feel those wrists lifting. And then as you come down, you feel the weight of the palms coming down. You'll end with the palms over your knees and the fingertips facing forward. This is the chunbi jaze. Okay, paro. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so from here, from chunbi, weight shifts to the right, step left, inhale, remember the wrists, shoulder height, and then exhale, dropping. So again, from the Mupal Dankum, this is Ilban, right? Feeling this expansion, contraction. Let's do it one more time. Okay, weight shifts to the right, elbows touch. Weight shifts to the left, inhale, lift, and then feel the contraction, exhale down. Okay, so now from here, we're going to turn our hips 3 times. So on one, your weight, they're gonna turn to the right. So here, hips turn to the right 1, and then hips turn to the left. And then we move into the Dumun Chunbi. Correct. Just like Dumun Hyung, where this hand is right on your center line, on your solar plexus, and then this hand is up, thumb up, shoulder height. And now we're ready to begin the form. So from here, 1, 2, lift, exhale. 1 to the right, 2 to the left, and then left leg to the right, and you stand. That's correct. Okay, chumbi. Let's see you do that together on your own, and then we'll move into the next section. Shipdangum, chumbi. Okay, ready? Shijak. You'll turn I'm just checking for understanding. And 3. Okay, good. Okay, let's do it a couple more times. So from the mountain posture here, now remember you're going to just do 3 turns. Turn to the right, turn to the left, and then as you turn to the right again, you slide. That's correct. Okay, so again from here, mountain posture, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's correct. Okay, one more time from here. 1, right, left, right. Yeah, make sure you start turning left first. Okay, so, sorry, right first. See, I'm confusing you too. Okay, so right first. Right, left, and then right. Good. Okay, last time, right, left, right. Right, left, right. Okay, now we're going to go into Dolmalchik, Ilban, without the chop. So I'm going to look over my left shoulder, left leg steps, 1 and 2 grab. Okay, just like in Dumun Hyung, inhale, sit, press, separate, inhale, sit, push. Very good. And puddle. All right. Now that you get kind of the chunbi, I want to do this, but I don't want to disorient you. I want you to turn sideways because we're going to be, that way you begin stepping towards the camera and it'll be easier on your neck to watch me. So what you need to do right now is turn so that your left shoulder, when you turn towards your left shoulder, you can see me in the camera. Okay, that's the way we're going to be oriented. Now we're changing it up where I'm going to be mirror image. So this is my right hand, but that is your left hand. So I'm facing the opposite way. I'm going to do the form backwards, and then you'll be able to, like in class, do it mirror image. Okay? So from chunbi, here, okay? So we're going to shift our weight over towards the left leg, right leg steps, inhale, mountain posture. Okay? So then from here, we're going to turn right, we're going to turn left, and then we're going to come up towards the right. Then looking over the left shoulder, left leg steps, 1 and 2, backhand grabbing. Inhale, pull, sit, press, separate, inhale, pull, sit, push. That's it. Okay, let's do that 2 more times and then we're going to move on. Okay, so from here, chunbi, weight to the left, step to the right, inhale, exhale. Right, left, right. Look, step, 1, 2, sit, press, separate, inhale, sit, push. Okay, tachi. So here, left leg will step into the mountain posture. 1. Okay, then from here, which way do we turn first? Right. Right first. So turn right, then turn left, and then finish sliding towards the right. Okay, then look over the left shoulder, step 1, 2, inhale, sit, press, separate, inhale, sit, push. Okay, so now from here, we're going to learn a couple of different techniques. First, Hwakuk Jang Gap Kwan. Inhale, pull back, lift the toes. Yeah, so you want to have the left hand on top. Left hand comes on top, and then you're going to pull like offensive hip. So the left hip's going to pull back, and just think about the rear hand. One, and extend. Both hands in fists. Let me get a little closer so that I look a little bigger. Okay? So from the push here, from the push, one, pull, turn towards the left, and then release the hip, Jangap-kwan. Both hands in fists. Both thumbs are up. Yeah, so vertical, correct. Then we're going to step forward and do it again. That's it. So what's most important on this is that you feel that expansion of your chest to get maximum mobility in your arms. So we don't get a chance to do that a lot in our day-to-day lives in the 21st century. So, you know, getting this opportunity to feel that full expansion of the body is very, very healthy. Okay. All right. So let's try it again from the mountain posture. So the left leg will step out. Exhale. Okay. Then from here, remember we're going to go right first. So turn right, turn left, and then slide towards the right. Then look over the left shoulder. Step 1, 2. Inhale. Sit, press. Separate, inhale. Sit, push. Okay, so that's the first section. Then from here, pull, and you're going to do Jangap-kwan twice. 1, 2. Okay, so can we move on? How are we feeling? Okay, so now we learn a new technique. We're going to do double elbow strike. So the front hand is going to turn and meet the back hand. So from a side view, it looks like this. 1. So my eyes stay forward, and I'm going to go 1. And then I'm going to reach the other way 2 so that both of my elbows are connected. And then 3, both elbows come out. Correct. Okay. So go back to that same orientation like this. Okay, but I'm going to be sideways so that you can see what this looks like. So your front hand, the front hand is going to come to the rear. 1. Good. And then the back hand is going to go towards the camera. 2. And then both elbows expand. And that's the technique. Correct. And then from here, we're going to, let's just do that 3 times. Okay, so from here, you got to get the hang of this here. So it's always front hand goes first, 1, and then right on top, and then double elbows. Good. So if you like detail, then the left hand is always on bottom. The right hand is always on top every time you do this move in the form, every single time. If you don't care so much of the details, I don't think it really matters as far as just enjoying the form. But if you want to know how to do it right, always the left hand on what did I just say? On bottom. Left hand on bottom. Okay, so again, from the Jangap-kwan here, front hand to the rear hand to the front. Yeah, but keep the front hand in the rear, right? So let's try it again. So from here, your right hand turns away from the camera. Your left hand turns towards the camera, and now you're giving yourself a big hug. And then open with the double elbows. Good. Okay, so let's do it again, but I'm going to turn sideways now so that you can see the different profile. Okay, so from here, your front hand, this one here, is going to go away from the camera. 1. Your back hand is going to point towards the camera, and then you're going to open. That's correct. Okay? And then you're going to just do the same thing all over again. You're going to do another John Gap Quan right from there. Okay? So we're still facing the same direction. Maybe me changing direction is confusing. So coming back to here, we just did a John Gap Quan. Now we do our elbows. So front hand to the rear, rear hand to the front, and elbows. Then we do another John Gap Quan. So we prepare. Okay, so our right leg is in front. Front hand, one. Back hand on top. And elbows. Okay, and then inhale, prepare. And we're going to do it again, the elbows, John Gap Quan again. Then from here, we're going to step forward and do the elbows again. So we've got to step forward and my backhand, so remember what hand's your backhand. Your backhand is going to, as you step, point towards away from the camera. One. And then my new backhand is going to point towards the camera. Remember? And the left hand always on bottom. And then expand. Like so. And then another John Gap Quan. That's it. Okay. Ma'am, you're always going to be facing the camera. Every time. So don't ever turn your back to the camera. The whole time we're just going to keep walking towards the camera. Okay? All right, let's try that again. So you see, you do all this ceremony stuff that ends in this push, and then the sequence is you're going to do 2 John Gap Quans, and then after the second John Gap Quan, you're going to get through 2 elbows, but make sure there's a John Gap Quan before and after each one. So here, elbows. So I need another John Gap Quan. And then I do another elbow. So then I need to do another John Gap Quan. Okay? So you're going to do 1 John Gap Quan, and then you need to do 2 elbows with a John Gap Quan before and after each technique. Hopefully that helps with the memorization. Okay, so let's go through that whole pattern 3 times. Okay, so from here, Chumbi, the left leg is going to step into the Shipdongum Chumbi stance. So here, weight shifts to the right leg. Remember, still, again, left hand is on bottom on this. And then step, lift, exhale. Okay. So then from here, right, we're going to turn. So we start with turning right. So right, turn left, and then slide towards the right. Okay, so then from here, look towards the camera. You're right, ma'am. That's correct. Okay, so if you can get your shoulder right in the front line of the camera there. No, so turn sideways. Turn sideways. That's correct. So now the whole time you're just going to walk towards the camera. If you need to back up, you can, but we're just moving directly straight in front of us. Okay, so from here, we're looking towards the camera. So now our left leg is going to step. 1, 2, backhand grabbing. Inhale, sit, and now press. Separate, inhale, pull, sit, and push. So this is just the Dumun Hyung drill, right? So now, remember, we're going to do 1 John Gap Quan, and then we're going to do 2 elbows, and before and after every elbow, you got to do a John Gap Quan. Okay? So here, John Gap Quan, pull back, offensive hip, so turn the hips towards the left and focus on the rear hand pulling back, and then the front hand extending. That's your John Gap Quan. Remember, both thumbs are up on this. Correct. Okay, so now we're going to step forward, do another John Gap Quan. Here. So now that we've done that John Gap Quan, we can do the elbows. So the front hand facing the camera turns away from the camera. And then the back hand inhales and points towards the camera. And then exhale, double elbows. Notice my eyes stay towards the camera the whole time. So you're always watching me. Then pull back, see how this hip pulls, and then John Gap Quan. Okay, now this is the hard part. We're going to step, and you see my back hand? The back hand should be your left hand. As you step, you're going to step and swing your arm 360 degrees so that it's facing away from the camera as you step. Okay? And then from here, the right hand is now going to turn and cross on top. And then exhale. And now what do we need to do? Another John Gap Quan, because before and after every elbow, another John Gap Quan. Okay, we just have 2 more techniques left to get us to the halfway point, and the other way back is almost the same thing. So we're almost done. Okay? So from here, your front hand that's facing the camera is going to pull back, and you're going to do a low block in a side stance and then punch. But unless you know there's a low block, it doesn't look like a low block. Watch this. You see that? So here I'm left leg forward, remember, we're not stepping. I'm just going to pull back, and my front hand is just going to, no cross. No cross on this. It's just going to be here, and you're just going to brush the low block away here and punch. So it looks like this. Okay, so left leg forward here. 1, 2. Now, in the Chungal Jase, your groin is vulnerable. So you're going to step with the rear leg and lift your knee high and slightly sideways to protect your groin. And then step with the left. Step with the left, inhale, and then exhale. All right, so from here, remember, first we're going to turn towards the right. So twist right, twist left, and then slide towards the right away from the camera. Everyone did it. Okay, now looking towards the camera, left leg steps, and backhand grabs the hand. Inhale, sit, press. Separate, inhale, sit, push. The front hand will be on top as you pull back and cross. Make sure that the hip turns a little bit towards the left like an offensive hip preparation, and then throw the John Gap Quan. Okay, so now we're ready for the combination. We're going to do 2 elbows, and before and after, you're going to do a John Gap Quan. So John Gap Quan, step. So now we're right leg forward. Yes. Okay, so we just did 1 John Gap Quan, and now we're going to do a second one where you step right. That's it. Okay, so now we're all right leg forward. So now the elbows, so front hand back, back hand front, elbows. And then from here, pull, John Gap Quan. Now we're going to do elbows again. This is the hard one. Remember, the backhand is going to move 360 degrees around your body and face away from the camera when we're done. Back leg steps, 1, and then the right hand reaches and faces the camera, 2, and elbows. Great. Now from here, John Gap Quan in place. Prepare. So the John Gap Quan before the elbows is the step. But afterwards, you're just staying in place here. Now from here, right, the front hand is going to do a flyby low block. And then whatever we're able to do, the back knee, you're thinking about lifting that back knee, and then reverse punch high. Then look over your left shoulder. Left leg steps, we're going to turn sideways. Inhale and stand. Just like we do in a lot of forms, like this. And now we're ready to go back the other way after we do a couple more reps. Okay? So that's the halfway point. Something that's cool about these forms, I think it is anyway, is that on the first part, you're doing this posture where you're dropping. And then you're doing this. So on this, you're thinking about earthly energy, and then you're thinking about heavenly energy, and then you're going to do the same thing with heavenly energy, right? So, and then as you go with a partner, you're going to see that and yang throughout the form. It's very beautiful. Okay, one more repetition, and then we're going to go to the next section if there's time. Chumbi. From here, the left leg is going to do the stepping. 1. Okay, and then think about it right first. Right, left, slide towards the right. Then look towards the camera, step, reach with the back hand. Inhale, drop and press, separate, inhale, sit and push. Prepare, Jangap Kwan. In place. The second one, you're going to step forward. So the back leg steps, prepare, and right leg forward, Jangap Kwan. Now we're ready for our elbows. Front hand to the rear, rear hand to the front, elbows. Good. Now standing in place, Jangap Kwan. Okay, then back leg steps, the back hand spins 360 degrees and reaches behind. The right hand reaches in front. Jangap Kwan in place. Okay, we finished the 2. So now we go into the low block punch. Lift. And then look over our left shoulder. Left leg slides towards the right and stand.